What's going on, guys? Today we are starting the FA20 teardown for the FRS. So here's the motor. I power washed it. I guess not very good because it looks pretty dirty, but I'll have gloves on. We're gonna start by tearing down the intake manifold and taking off the alternator and tearing down the accessories and things like that. Pretty much everything that's sitting on top of the engine has to come off. So we'll start with that and work our way down. I do have painter's tape and a marker and plastic bags. I'll be putting the bolts in the bags and labeling them. And I'll also be labeling everything that I unplug, like this kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and get started. It's super nice having this garage because it's heated. You got the radiators right there and there. Normally it is a little bit colder in here than in the house, but I opened the door to let some of the cold air into the house to get to the thermostat, which kicked the heat back on. And now the house and the garage are about the same temperature, which is really nice. Also, I can have my dogs sit there and hang out while I'm working on stuff. But let's go ahead and start tearing this thing down. Most of this video is probably gonna be time lapse.
From a place of hardship to a place of ease comes a place of flourish. In return, it's for a reason that I couldn't say yet. Yeah, I don't find time to debate if I deserve growth or if maybe I should preserve coping by hating you.
So I got the intake manifold off now, and I'm gonna start working on the harness, just getting everything unplugged and labeled so I can get that out of the way, because for some reason I am having the hardest time with getting these things unplugged, especially the injector plugs. Like this one unplugged really easily, and then this one I had to fight with for like 30 minutes. So I don't know why some of them are so hard to get unplugged, but I think I just want to get that part out of the way. So I'm just going to go ahead and take off this harness the rest of the way and label everything as I'm going.
Say what you want, but I'm not okay with my brain anymore. I'm not okay with the way that it cope. Hardship, misfortune, so maybe before. Maybe before. Before I can.
I figured out the trick to these injector plugs. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys, since I was having so much trouble getting those disconnected. So the biggest problem is that you can't get this tab pushed down enough with your finger. You can push really, really hard, but it's not quite enough. So one thing that you can do is put a screwdriver in right here and then pry up like that. And that's a good way to get the tab pressed down really well. And then you can take the screwdriver from the other end and just pop it off. Just like that, super easy. I can't believe I struggled that much with these. All right, so I'm not entirely sure where to go from here, so I'm gonna take a break now, but I got the whole top of the engine torn off. I think the next thing is actually just going to be this timing cover up here, get the front taken apart, because I don't know if we have to tear down the heads any more than this. I do have to change the valve springs in them because this is 2013 and I didn't get the recall done, so I'm gonna put better valve springs in. I might put some BC valve springs in just to make sure nothing ever happens, but I'm not sure. I don't know, I'll pick back up on this a different day. All right guys, it's a new day, working on the engine again. Look at those fresh meats for the Mini Cooper back there, RT615s. I bought some winter tires too that are probably coming today for my daily that you guys haven't seen yet. But anyway, starting to work on this engine again. I'm hoping to get this thing all the way torn down today. We're gonna start by taking this stuff off the front and then taking off this timing cover, taking off the timing chains, all that stuff, and then we'll work on the heads and the oil pan, and then we should be able to assess the damage of this engine. All right, so we have the engine like this now. I'm pretty sure that died, so you might not have gotten me taking the timing chains off, but I got this all off, got the timing chains off, and now we just went ahead and turned it sideways. I'm actually gonna hold off on the oil pan and this bottom part of the block until we have the heads off. So I'm moving on to taking the heads off now. So to do that, we gotta go ahead and take the coil packs out. I don't know if I actually have to take the spark plugs out. I'm probably just gonna leave them in. And then take this little valve cover section off so we can get to some bolts that are under here. Then we gotta unbolt all of these bolts, and then we'll have access to the head bolts and we'll be able to bolt that out. So it looks like this little bracket has to come off first, and then the rest of this stuff can come off. Here we go. Got the heads off. It was kind of hard. I didn't have a breaker bar and I couldn't slip a pipe over that, which I guess this is the first I've realized that I can't do that. So I'm gonna need to get a breaker bar. But anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and take the bottom off now. So we got the oil pan, the mounts, and then these bolts down here, and we'll be able to pry the bottom off of the block. And then we'll be able to actually get a good view of the crank and maybe see what the damage is. At that point, we'll have to take the pistons and rods out.
Tick-tock, we're
What's up, guys? It's actually been a little while since I've had time to work on the FA20 motor. I've just been trying to get my daily up and running for the winter. It's really cold out and all that good stuff. But anyway, we're back here. We have the tools to remove this, and obviously we know that this one right here is loose, has play, so that's got to be the one that's spun. So we're gonna go ahead and take this part the rest of the way now that we have the tools. So I'm gonna show you what I got here. So this is the brand I got. These are the same brand of the torque sockets that I got, and I really, really like them. They seem super high quality and fair priced. So these are the e-torque sockets, and I'm gonna use these to take apart those connecting rods. And as always, I'll put a link to this in the description. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you do need these, feel free to click on that. That'll actually help me out. I'll get something from your purchase. As for pretty much any of the links in my description, I'm an eBay affiliate now too. So anyway, let's go ahead and pull out the pistons and rods and see what everything looks like.
She called me crazy and I'm wasting time. You see, don't leave me now.
All right, so I got two torn down. Now this is obviously the one that's spun and it looks really bad. The grooves are pretty deep. I tried to measure it out and it might still be savable because you can get 1/2 mil oversized bearings. So I might still try to take it to a machine shop and see what they can do with it, but I'm definitely gonna start trying to source a new crank because I'm fairly certain this can't be saved. Everything else looks okay so far. I'm gonna keep tearing it down. The connecting rod on this one looked a little bit messed up, probably from metal shavings from this. So I'm certain it's kind of done a little bit of damage throughout the whole thing, but hopefully the sleeves and everything are fine. I'm sure they are. And I should be able to get away with just replacing the crank. I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing the rest of the way apart.
We can do whatever your sun's out, make the clouds move over. We can do whatever I'm gonna make the time move slower. We can do whatever your sun's out, make the clouds move over. We can do whatever.
All right, guys, I finally got this thing completely torn down. Splitting this in half was so hard. I ended up watching a video on how to do it where some guy literally just took like a dead blow hammer, not like one of these ones, but a slightly different kind of dead blow hammer, and just smacked it in a few spots and was able to pull this apart. He did it on 2 Subaru motors. I hit this thing in the same exact spots that he did in the video with a 2-pound hammer and a 1-pound hammer, and this thing was not budging. I ended up hitting it pretty much as hard as I could. As you can see, like right here, I did that with a dead blow hammer. I was hitting it lightly with this, but I didn't get any really hard hits with that. I did all my hard hits with this, and that is how this happened. So I'm kind of hoping, because I did hit in some spots that I probably shouldn't have, so I'm hoping that I didn't really mess up anything that seals. If so, then I'm gonna have to kind of grind it down smooth and use extra sealant and hope everything's good. But I think the only parts that are dented are like external casing parts. Like, let's see. All right, so here's one that might be bad. There's sealant right here, so that means this is a sealing surface. And obviously this is dented now. Same thing from this hammer. So that could be bad. I'll just grind a little bit of this metal off right here and then use RTV like it had before. And I'm sure there's some on this side too, but whatever. We'll figure it out if we need to. I might even have to get if I can't get a crank, I'm gonna have to get a short block anyway, So here's the damage assessment. This is really the only one that's messed up. These all look fine. And the main bearings all look good. Well, where the main bearings were. Even if you look over here, You got this stuff. Even the thrust washers still look really, really good. Obviously, I'm gonna replace all of it when I rebuild it, but it's just a really good sign that the only damage seems to be on this one spot. So if I do need a new crank, then the casing should still be good. I just need to pop the new crank in and we're good to go. So yeah, that really seems to be it for the damage. That's where I'm gonna end this video. If you guys liked it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That would really help my channel out. Stay tuned for the rest of the build of this motor. We are gonna get this car back up and running no matter what. So I'm just gonna keep chugging away. I have this FRS, I have my wide body Mini Cooper, and I have 2 Honda Civics. This one in the back here, and then my daily driver. If you guys are interested in any of that, please subscribe to the channel. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and peace out.